The British Army have divided their tanks into two main classes, the cruiser tank and the infantry tank. For the infantry class, they have concentrated on the Churchill. This one carries a 75mm gun and two machine guns. Other Churchills are mounted with either a 6-pounder gun or 95mm howitzer. To the casual glance, all Churchills are alike, but the standard Churchill has an armor basis of 4 inches on the front and 3 inches on the sides, while the heavy Churchill has 6 inches on the front and 3 3/4 inches on the sides. Fitted with wide and well-spaced tracks to give flotation on soft ground without too much sacrifice of speed, and 11 small, finely sprung bogies to each track, the Churchill is easily recognizable. Carrying a crew of 5, the heavy Churchill weighs 39.5 tons, 1.5 tons heavier than its lighter counterpart. Yet despite its weight, the Churchill is an agile tank, capable of climbing a sheer wall without a semblance of a slip. This demonstration will give some idea of the strenuous and exhaustive trials demanded of both tank and driver. That was a nasty drop, but the sturdy Churchill takes any obstacle in its stride. With a maximum road speed of 13.5 miles per hour, it is sometimes necessary for the heavy Churchill to fade away. With the help of smoke, that is a matter of moments. We must suppose that in this instance, the enemy action is from the rear. The tank emits smoke, which is ignited electrically from the driver's compartment, and an effective screen is placed between the enemy and his target. But seldom does an infantry tank work solo, especially across open country. Usually there are others on either flank in the hull-down position, exposing a minimum of target and ready to give covering fire to the tank compelled to work in the open. This particular instance must not be regarded as something straight from the textbooks. Tactics alter according to the situation and the nature of the ground. It is for the commander on the spot, finally, to decide the procedure. This is merely a demonstration of something that could occur and how the situation is dealt with. As the tank comes over the brow, it is fired on by the enemy in front. The Churchill takes evasive action. It emits smoke and gets off a road which is probably ranged by the enemy and fades away into a screen of its own making. The tank shows itself for our benefit on the lee side of the smoke screen, but knowing its job, it makes for ground that is dead to the known enemy. For dead ground from one point may be a crest line to another, a lesson taught to all armored fighting troops. As the word implies, an infantry tank works with the infantry. When an objective is purely local, the firepower and determination of the infantry will take that objective. But if the attempt means the useless wastage of very good men, then the Churchills are on call to give assistance and prevent that wastage. Here is an instance where the leading section of a platoon in attack is pinned to the ground. Word must be passed back to the platoon commander, who will decide how to use his supporting sections and whether, by wireless, to ask for artillery and tank support. He needs support. Plans are made and times agreed between the infantry, artillery, and tanks. After the artillery have brought fire to bear on the enemy's strong point, the infantry move forward with the heavy Churchill tanks, deservedly popular with troops, for they not only stand up to heavy punishment with their 6 inches of frontal armor, but can hit back with an anti-tank gun that penetrates 2.5 inches of armor plating at 2,000 yards, or alternatively, mount a gun with an excellent HE performance. To sum up, the task of the Churchill is to help the infantry onto their objective and to keep them there until they have time to consolidate. They normally attack with the infantry, closely supported by them and the artillery. Great speed, therefore, is not essential. But, as they are often used against strongly and well-prepared positions, they must be heavily armored, have a good cross-country capacity, and be suitably armed to deal with enemy anti-tank guns as well as infantry. They must also be prepared in an emergency to deal with enemy tanks if counterattacked by them. Because they are